Hello, dear. It's Heather, and you're watching Save Today with Heather J. I am somebody who has spent her entire adult life living paycheck to paycheck and being one life event away from financial crisis. Living that way has always been incredibly uncomfortable and quite terrifying at sometimes. I have reached a point where that is no longer a viable way to live, and it's time to make some changes. We know when we're making some lifestyle changes, things get uncomfortable before they get better. And that has and will continue to be the case for a while as we try and get some of this old debt paid and out of here, and then try and get ahead. So that's why I created a budget for myself. I can't keep living like that. It's just not possible. And I created the channel because I felt like that would give me a little bit more success by being forced to check in on a regular basis with whoever out in the world is wanting to join me on this journey. By being forced to check in with you, I'm forced to check in with myself. And even here, 3.5 months in, that has already benefited me. It would have been very easy to throw my hands up and say, I quit, I give up, when things got as difficult as they did last month. And I was able to fight through that, in part because I am tired of living that way, but also in part because I was sharing that with you guys, and I didn't want to just drop it at that point. We hadn't reached a conclusion yet. There may come a time when this channel has reached a conclusion, but that is nowhere yet. I have a lot of work I still need to do, and I'm hoping you are along for the ride as we go through this. Today, I'm going to be going over my August paycheck number 2 setup. I am a couple of weeks behind on my videos, and so I've been playing a game of catch up, and I have essentially been doing one video every single day for the last, I think, 10 days, and I'm trying to get caught up. So for me, paycheck number 2 in August is from the 11th to the 24th of August. So I'm already over halfway through that pay period when I'm filming this and setting this up for you. So some of these things have already happened, and some still have yet to happen. But this is where I was at when I set up my paycheck number 2. Now, when I set up my paychecks, I estimate my wages, which is $20.85 an hour, times my estimated hours. And right now I'm estimating 38 hours a week. I work retail, and in my company, anywhere from 32 to 40 hours is considered full-time. There have been points in my time with this company where I've been working only 33 hours a week. Thankfully, right now, that is not the case. I am really pushing that 38 to 40 hour mark. So 38 hours is what I'm estimating. I would never likely estimate a full 40 hours because there's always things that come up that make that not be 40. So 38 is probably the closest I would ever get to 40 in my estimate. And then so 2085 times 38 hours times 2 weeks in this paycheck, and then I do take out 25% for my estimated taxes and insurance, pre-tax withdrawals. So what I'm left with for my wage estimate is $1,188.45. I do have another line that I keep here. I don't ever expect to have another line. It's not something that will often have anything in it. But I do keep that open just in case I receive some money unexpectedly or things change and I need to have that spot there. That's just kind of a safety for me there. So there's nothing estimated to come in this month. So my total wage income is going to be $1,888.45. That's my estimate to come in. Then I go over my fixed expenses, which are my bills, things I'm required to pay whether I like it or not. These are not fixed in that nothing ever changes. My rent always stays the same, but my utilities fluctuate. They're both on here. This is just all of the bills, things that somebody else sets up the fee. I'm required to pay. If I don't pay, I end up with fines and late fees and have to pay even more later. So that's what this fixed expenses category covers for me. So for this pay period in August, I have a utilities bill at $284.68. Now this is 2 months worth of utilities for this $284.68. I am still set up where my utilities get billed to the landlord. The landlord sends me the bill. I go get a money order. I have to pay a $20 convenience fee or service fee, whatever, when I have to do that. And then I do pay $1.75 to the post office for the money order fees. So all of that has been factored into that. I don't have those numbers in front of me. I believe one bill was 110 and change, and the other bill was 130 and change. And then again, two $20 service fees and two $1.75 money order fees are included in that. Then my phone bill I have here at $473.02. Again, my phone bill is not $473 a month. This is July and August's phone bill. In June, I did not pay my June bill because I was getting money set aside for my U-Haul, and we were paying for the car repair and we were paying for the insurance. And because of all of those things, my phone bill did not get paid in June. I've made a payment arrangement for it to be paid in July. In July, I paid June's arrangement, but I did not pay July's current bill. So then July's current bill got put into a payment arrangement for August. And so this is what this is. This is my July payment arrangement and my August current bill at the $473.02. My monthly bill is $236.51. I will be making changes to that bill that will be lowering it, but those changes have not happened yet. And they have not happened yet. So what are those changes? One is I have some insurance on 2 of my 4 lines on my phone, and those insurances will be removed. Basically, all they cover really is new screen protectors and new case covers. Case covers never really break. And while I do get new screen covers, I don't get them at the rate of what the cost my insurance is costing me, if that makes sense. So I think my insurance on one of my lines is $16 a month. And the new screen protectors were $40, $39.99. I have not, so over the course of like the 2 years or whatever I've been paying on this phone and paying this insurance, I've only replaced my screen protector 3 times. So $40 times 3 times is a whole lot less than $16 times 24 times. So I will be canceling that because I am now aware that even if I have to replace that at that full $40 cost, I still would be coming out ahead financially at the end than to have that insurance. So I will be canceling that insurance. That's one change. The other change is I want to get that phone bill set up on auto pay. Now that my large ticket item that I knew was going to cause problems is taken care of, I know I won't be needing to play games, you know, robbing Peter to pay Paul to get some of those things done. So now I'm going to be able to get my phone bill on auto pay. That has not happened yet because I'm currently in a payment plan, and you can't set up auto pay when you're in a payment plan. So that hasn't happened yet, but that is in the works, and those changes will be happening. But it hasn't happened yet. So we'll be looking to see if that goes down any in September. I do have a credit card that I'm paying $200 a month on. This is not a current card. This is payment on an old card that I had maxed out and wasn't paying, and so they've closed the account and I owe the money on that. I'm now in a position where I can start paying that, but that credit card is now gone. So $200 a month for that until like February or March. I have a subscription for $10.82. I have some old rent at $70.94. I call this old rent, but it's not rent. It's the You know, you move into a place and they want your first and last and security deposit or whatever. And then when you move out, they find all of the different ways that they can charge you and not give you back that deposit. And so that's what that is. You know, when I move into a place, I put almost nothing on the walls. In fact, I bolted in 2 shelves that I didn't want to fall over. I'm not there for very long. I keep things fairly clean because I know I'm going to be moving out. And when I do move out, I do a ceiling to floor clean because, you know, I move so much. I never get my full deposit back. That's what this $70.94 is. They decided that all of the different things they wanted to charge me for was going to be $709. And so this is a payment arrangement to get that taken care of. Initially, I was trying to get it paid all at once, or maybe make 2 payments of $350 to get that taken care of. And that just has not been possible. So I do have to put that into payment arrangements. This may go up because there's probably going to be service fees that get tacked on top of that. But at this point, that has not been finalized yet. I do have a Banner Health for $50. This was for a COVID test so that I could return to work after receiving COVID. The second test was not covered by my insurance. The first was. And then I do have, this is AR Strat, which is a collections. This is for a medical device. I sleep with a CPAP machine. I ordered one. My insurance paid what it paid. I paid what I thought was the copay. I did not pay the complete amount. There's probably now late fees in on top of that. So I owe $41.66 for that. So my total fixed expenses is $1,131.13. These last 3 here are stretch goals, things I wanted to get taken care of from my old debts, to get some of my old debt done. I would really like to get all of my old debt out of there in by September, so that when I start October, all I have are my student loans, because in October is when student loan payments are going to be due again, and I want to be able to focus everything I can on getting that taken care of as quickly as I can. And I say that, I mean, my student loans aren't large in comparison to some, but the way they do their interest is going to, we all know that's the problem. So I want to make sure that I don't have anything else pulling away from that when it's time to set that up. Now I'm still going to have some credit card debt, and I'm still going to have some of this old rent where those are in monthly payments for a while. So I won't be able to give every possible penny towards those student loans, but I won't have anything else competing for what's left with those student loans. So that's the goal. So while these are a stretch goal, I really, really want them done, but we'll see how that goes. Next, I go over my flexible spending, and with my flexible spending, I'm tracking the things I do have control over. Nobody sets that fee for me. I'm not required to get X amount of any of these, but these are where I tend to spend a lot, and my spending in these areas impacts my abilities to pay these other areas here. So this is where I really have to fight. This is my groceries, my dining out, my transportation, my art, and my miscellaneous. I gave myself a very small amount in this flexible spending category. I know it's too small. I just don't know where I can give myself more here and still get taken care of the things I want here. It's just not being possible yet. So in my groceries, I have estimated I would spend $140 a week for a total of $280 this pay period. In my dining out, I've not given myself any funds in the estimate for this. In my transportation, I have given myself $40 a week for a total of $80 this pay period. When I set up that estimate, I assume I'm going to fill up the gas tank once. I make the estimate based on $3.79 a gallon, and my tank holds roughly 10 gallons. And then I do occasionally need to be taking the bus. That will be stopping soon because we did get the repairs done on the other vehicle. But now there's some catch up with registration and insurance that needs to happen. And so until that happens, I will be still taking the bus to work until we get that other thing taken care of. So that's what's in my transportation budget. Then for art, I did give myself $0 this month, and I'm working on a project that I should, in theory, have everything I need. And if I don't have everything, it's only a very small amount of stuff that I would need to get to do this. Partly because my time was short this month, because I'm behind schedule. I did go pull out a project that is kind of a, it doesn't have any real definite structure to it. It doesn't matter how much I get done or how little I get done. If when the end of the month falls, if it's not done, it's not feeling like it's an incomplete thing. What I have done this month is I have taken some old jeans that I had harvested. They had a hole in the thighs. I couldn't wear them anymore, but outside of that small hole, the rest was usable material. I have used those jeans for various different things throughout the last couple of years. And this month I decided to take some of the back pockets and the coin pockets and turn them into hot pads. So I could make one hot pad, I could make 20 hot pads. We'll see how far we get with that. And then when the end of the month happens, whatever I've got, that's it, that's done. So that was what I set up. I do have the jeans, I do have a ton of fabric that can be the backing. I have the Insulbright for the lining, and I have cotton batting for the lining, for the layers inside. So I have everything I need here to get this done. It's just a matter of finding all of those parts and pulling them together. And then in miscellaneous, I gave myself nothing and an estimate for miscellaneous. I'm not going to go out choosing to spend things that I know fall within this miscellaneous category. But there are things that may come up that end up in this miscellaneous category. Every month there's been something that needs to be tucked in here, and I expect August will be the same. I just don't know what those are. I don't know what they'll be. I don't have an estimate of what to put in there, and I don't have the extra funds to just pull a random number and put it there. So there's nothing in that estimate. But I do still have it there because I fully expect that there will be something that comes up that needs that category. So for my flexible spending, I have estimated $360 for this pay period, this 2 weeks budget. So when we carry all of that down, what do we find? Well, my wages were $1188.45. My fixed was $1131.13. My flexible was $360. So I have written my estimate to be $302.18 negative. Obviously, I don't have $302.68 sitting in my account waiting for me to use it. So something somewhere is going to have to give, and I'm not sure what that something is. So we'll see when we get to the end of these 2 weeks where the sacrifices came. Am I canceling out these bills? Am I stretching my phone bill even further? Am I just not eating groceries this month? We'll have to see how this next 2 weeks plays out, because I don't have overdraft coverage in my account, and I have that set up on purpose because anytime they cover your overdraft, they charge you fees, which used to be $22 or $25. I'm sure it's up to $35 now. And every single time they cover it, they charge you that extra money. So maybe what they've covered was $7 and now there's a $30 charge. Forget it. I would rather have you be declining me. I don't have a credit card I can put this on till I can get ahead. I don't have savings, so I don't have $302 that I can put that in. So I wrote a very unrealistic budget for paycheck number 2, again, because I'm pushing so hard to get this done, and because, I had two utility bills and 2 phone bills. So we'll see how this plays out. And that is where I'm at with this estimate. I am setting myself up for failure at this point. But all of these things were important to at least try. So we'll see how it goes. Now we're at the point where I'm going to go over the progress I've made in the project I'm working on. When we saw each other last night, I had all of these jeans, their pockets sewn together in their weird little shapes, and I was going to need to go and find some backing fabric. I did go searching through the boxes I had access to, because remember, I'm still unpacking all of my stuff. And I did not find the fabric I set out to go find, but I did find something that will work. And what I ended up with is one fabric to be the back of all of these. And so then I have already pinned and cut around these for that. So that's what we've got here, is this bright flower fabric. It's bright enough that any stains that get on there won't be as noticeable as that plain muslin I had been looking at. I guess that was yesterday's video. And it's a happy color. You know, if you have to have these in your kitchen, you want something that's happy, that you'll enjoy. But it's not a fabric that I'm really attached to, and I'll be super disappointed when these reach the point of having to be tossed out, whenever that is, 2 or 3 years from now. So that's what I have. I did have one piece of fabric that was big enough to cover all 6 of these that I had cut, and I have just a little bit left. This piece was a ½ yard that I had used for a different project, and in my different project, this little square here is all that I had used of this entire ½ yard piece. So this little bit is all that's left of that, and I will be able to cut this down and put this in my scraps system for my quilting scraps. So that's where that's at there. The next step on this is to cut the Insulbrite. I have a ton of Insulbrite here, and the Insulbrite is the layers that protect from the heat. This has a layer of Mylar on one side and then polyester on the other. So you want to have the Mylar layer be the layer that's closest to the heat. So for these, that's going to be the layer facing the backing, because that's going to be the part that's grabbing the pot holder, or grabbing the hot pot out of the oven. And you do want to do 2 layers of this. So I'll probably do 1 layer towards the back and 1 layer towards the front, because there will be times when somebody reaches in to grab something out of the oven and they're not paying attention to which side they're grabbing a hold of. And, you know, it might turn out that these pockets are not as wonderful as I think they're going to be, and it might be just better to not use them at all. So I want to have that protection from both sides. And then I will have a layer of cotton quilt batting that is on the other side to absorb some of the condensation so that you aren't burning your finger. So it's going to be 3 or 4 layers inside these 2 layers. So that's the next step. Now I do have lots of that cotton batting. I have a whole bunch kind of folded up and stuffed in a bag in a box somewhere I haven't come across yet. And I have an entire roll wrapped up in plastic. It looks like a rug. And that one, I know where it's at and I have access to it. It's just a bit unwieldy to get for something so small. So that may be what I have to do in order to move this project forward. But I am going to see if I can't find the smaller pieces. And I say smaller, but it's still a gigantic piece. It's just going to be less unwieldy than that roll is. And the roll I have for the bigger quilts. And so I don't want to hack off too much of the small stuff and then not have it for the big stuff. But that's where I'm at. Because I'm filming every day, and sometimes two videos in one day to get caught ahead and make sure that I end August as close to the end of August as I can. That means there's not a whole lot of progress at the end of each of these videos. In a normal month, there tends to be 2 or 3 days between videos. And so then I can have 2 or 3 days worth of work, whether that's a day off day or whether that's before or after work, that I have a little bit of time on this. Do be aware that I am working a full-time job at 8+ hours each day. And I am still trying to unpack an entire household of stuff. And I'm going very, very slow. At this point, these things have been in my house for 3 weeks now. But I needed to keep stuff out of the way of the person who had surgery for a while. And I have to build furniture. And I'm choosing to inventory my craft supplies, which is slowing everything down. That is exhausting. I have so much stuff, which is a blessing. And I'm so grateful to have what I have, but I have more things than I have ideas to use it with. And to have to inventory everything, and you have to stop and you have to measure everything, and it's really slowed me down. So I have all of that unpacking, and I have to try and move this project forward for the end of each of these videos. So my available time with this project is less than it would be in, in the ideal when things are at normal. And then it's taking me a while to find the things too. So that's where we're at with this, just a teeny bit of forward progress. So this is on all of these. Additionally, I'm not sure, I think I may, so when I cut these shapes out, I lined my line up here. So this is my even point, and I did a 90-degree angle down from that to give myself kind of some square sides. But I'm finding I don't like how much extra there is here, and I might just run my line down this and give myself like an inch on each side, which would bring the pot holder in a little bit on those ends. I'm not sure how I'm going to do that. Also, as an information for going forward, and this is really more for me, but just in case some of you are interested, some of these, my coin pocket is very close to this pants pocket. And there were a couple where it was, I just barely made it. Maybe this is the one that was the closest. Nah. What am I thinking of? Anyway, here. So I have, this is really close here, but I have this big, large gap there. I'm finding I don't really like that large gap. I think I wanted to, if I ever do this again in the future, I think I want to bring those closer the way they are here, because I really like the square top on this. And I can't get that square top when I have so much here, because in order to get a square top, then I end up cutting off so much of this bottom, and then this becomes unusable. Where if I had brought this closer, then I could have squared this off a little bit better. So just as a information for myself in the future, and for any of you who might be thinking that this is a project you're interested in doing for yourself, maybe keep that in mind, that these need to be far enough away that they're easy to get into in order for that whole process to work, but close enough that we can get a better shape for them, because these are some weird shapes for pot holders, and there just wasn't a way to get this to be squared off in a little bit better shape with how far apart these pieces are here. So that is just, again, when I'm prototyping and doing something out of my head, there's a lot of things that aren't going to be right the first time through. And so that's where we're at with that. Anyway, you guys, that is what I have for you today. That is my paycheck number 2 setup. And that is where we're at with this craft. My next video would be week 3 flexible spending. Then I do have my debts and desires, my week 4, my paycheck 2 closeout, and my month closeout. So what was that? Week 3 debts, week 4 paycheck, month. So 5 more videos, and that's about how much time we have left in the month of August before my month of September starts. So we'll see what we get done in the next, basically in the next 5 days, in the next week. Do I get all 6 of these done, or do I only have 3 of them done? I don't know, but we're gonna see where we can get with that. I will talk to you guys. I believe I will be talking to you guys tomorrow. I thank you so much for checking in with me, and wherever you're at, whatever you're doing, please have fun today. Bye-bye now.